Today I want to talk to you guys about something very important to me, and that is safety. Specifically, I want to talk to you about one certain way that will help you guys stay safe, and that is owning a two-way satellite communicator. I'm going to tell you why you should consider owning one of these devices. I'm then going to do an unboxing of the Garmin inReach Mini 2, which I purchased. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the device during this video. With that, let's just get right into the video. So let's go ahead and talk about what this device does and why you guys should own one. So the first thing is what the device does. So when you have a device such as this, the idea is that when you're out in the backcountry or you're someplace where maybe you don't have cell service, something like that, that you can take this device, press a button, which is the SOS button, and then it will relay a message via satellite back to a company that would then contact the local resources. They're going to see your location, your GPS location. They're going to know where you're at. And there is a way of communicating back and forth with the, we'll call it a call center at this point, but it lets you talk back and forth with that call center, or in a dire situation, you just press it and no more messages are sent, but they will know where you're at and that you need help immediately. And so then they can contact local resources and send them your way. So that's what this device does. Now, the why you should carry it, there's a lot of reasons to consider carrying one of these. I've been backpacking for years. I'm honestly surprised I've never purchased one before. In the past, I've always relied on the fact that I could send an itinerary to a friend, then they would have that, know when my expected return date was, and if I did not show up, they could tell, the local resources, law enforcement, search and rescue, things like that. They could tell them where I was and where I was planning on going. But here's the thing. My plans oftentimes change, and sometimes those plans change in the wilderness when I've already lost cell service. So that is where this device comes in very, very handy. So that is one of those reasons why you want to consider purchasing one of these devices. The other thing is, in a recent excursion I had, we actually got stuck in the vehicle in the mud, and it was quite a night. We did have cell service, but we had to walk about 100 yards to get cell service. Even with that, we called roadside assistance. They came out the next morning, so we had to bed down in the car to do that. Now, if we would have had one of these devices, and let's say we were outside of cell service, we could have pressed that button, local law enforcement or search and rescue or something could have come and taken care of the situation for us. That is one of those situations where it is super important to have a device such as this. Again, there are plenty of places without cell service, and we can run into those problems out there. Now, what you can use this device for? Tons of different things. So I'm a backpacker, so I'm going to use it, a ton of it, for backpacking, go out in the backcountry. You can use it for mountain biking. You can use it for camping or boondocking, because a lot of us like to go off the grid, get further and further back, and we may not have cell coverage. You can also use it for boating, like stand-up paddleboarding, kayak, things like that. So you can use this for a plethora of reasons. It is very universal, and it can come in handy. Now, you can never predict when something's going to happen. You could have a catastrophic injury, you could have a mechanical breakdown. There are tons of situations where this device will be very useful for you. So that is a couple of the reasons why you want to consider owning something like this. And while one of the reasons I didn't get it in the past was because of the price. Considering the usefulness, the price is actually very, very small when you think about the bigger picture. Now, since we're talking about price, let's talk about that. This inReach right here, this has two different ways you can pay. You can have the annual plan, which you'll pay monthly, but it's a smaller amount each month, or you can have the flex plan. And with that plan, you can turn it on and off on a 30-day period. And so if you're only going to be using it 6 months out of the year, it's a better way to go. But if you're going to be using it for 9 or 10 months out of the year, you might as well go with an annual plan. The annual plan and the flexible plan, you are going to have to pay a activation fee. So the activation fee for the annual plan is $29.95. For the Flex plan, the ability to turn it on and off as you need, that one is going to be a flat $34.95 per year. And again, that covers you for the whole year. You won't have to reactivate it after every time you turn it off and turn it back on. Now, once you decide whether you want the annual, you have full year coverage, or if you just want the flexible for, let's say, 6, 8 months out of the year, Then you have to decide which of the plan types you want to get. Now, they have 3 different ones for Garmin. They have the safety, recreation, and then the expedition. We're mostly going to be talking about the recreation and the safety plans, because the expedition plan is really for those high-end users for aviation, things like that. We aren't going to cover that here today. Now, those other 2 plans that I just mentioned, the safety, which is the cheaper one, and then the recreation. I will say all 3 plans cover unlimited SOS, like recalls. So if you ever need an emergency situation, you can press that SOS button. They're never going to limit you on that. That is huge. The other thing that's unlimited is you have unlimited preset text messages. There'll be preset messages such as, I'm fine, I'm doing great, maybe I love you. I don't know. I don't know what it'll have on there. So we'll find out once we open it up and start getting into it. But those preset messages are unlimited, which is very nice. Now, the difference between the safety and the recreation plans begin now. So the safety plan is, if you get the annual plan, it's $11.95 per month. If you get the flex plan, so that you can turn it on and off, it's $14.95 a month. Now for the recreation plan, the plans are $24.95 if you do it the annual plan, and then for the flexible plan is $34.95. Now the difference between these 2, the safety and the recreation, and that money difference is that with the safety plan, the lower cost one, you only get 10 custom messages each month. Now with the recreation plan, you can get 40 text messages that are custom, that you can actually write up to 160 characters, and you can write a message to a friend or family member and let them know exactly how you're doing and what you need. And so again, the safety plan, the cheaper plan, there are only 10 messages you can send that are custom, and then the recreation plan allows you 40 messages. So that's quite a bit of bump up. And then the other benefit of the recreation plan, the more expensive one, you can send your tracking location back and forth to friends and family on an unlimited basis. So you can send your location back and forth, they can track you as you're going. With the safety plan, the cheaper plan, every time you do that, it's 10 cents. But at that point, you could send, for the extra $20 that you'd be spending for that extra plan, you could send your location like 20 different times. So I don't think it's personally worth it. I feel like the safety plan is just as good unless you have a specific need of someone wanting to follow you. Probably not that important. So since we've already talked about why you guys need it, and we've talked about some of the pricing, let's go ahead and do an unboxing of this device, and I'll give you my first impressions. Now, one of the reasons I chose the Garmin inReach Mini 2 was because of its small size. I do a lot of backpacking, and weight is always a consideration. This thing is only 3.5 ounces, and it has a really good battery life, so that's one of the reasons I picked this particular device. But let's go ahead and open it up right now. All right, and so there's a device right here, very small. Man, that's smaller than a deck of cards. Yeah, that fits in the palm of your hand really nicely. Let's see what else comes in here. It comes with a little Garmin carabiner so that you can put, there's a little lanyard on the back here that you can attach it to your backpack. I don't know if I'd actually use the carabiner, but it's nice that they gave you one of those. Then you have the power cord, which is just a USB-C charger, and then some safety manuals. So pretty simple stuff, not a whole lot of stuff in here, but my initial impression right now is that it's very ruggedized. There's only a couple of different buttons that you use on this thing. It seems like a very durable product, and that's what I've read online as well. So now that I've done an unboxing of the Garmin inReach Mini 2, I'm going to go ahead and go inside, either make a phone call or go online, and I need to set up an account to activate this device. And so I'm going to let you guys know how that goes and how easy it is. So I'll go check it out right now. A while back, I went ahead and set up my Garmin inReach Mini 2 satellite communicator. I registered it online and then activated the service. I have to say it was an extremely easy process to go through. And so basically you pair the device with your phone, you create an account, and then you have to pick a subscription and a plan. So as for the subscription itself, I went ahead and went with the annual subscription. There was the option of the annual subscription or the flexible subscription. Now, the reason is that I like the peace of mind that it gives me when I am going out adventuring, and that I didn't want to have to take the service on and off constantly. The other reason was that it's actually can be a little cheaper in the long run because you paid just a one-time $29.95 activation fee. Just one time, you never have to pay that again. Whereas the flexible plan where you can turn it on and off, you end up paying $34.95 per year. So in the end, I thought it was just a better deal for me personally to get the annual subscription. When it comes to the plan itself, Garmin offers a variety of plans. So they range from $11.95 per month up to $64.95 a month. So since I'm going to be doing the John Muir Trail coming up, and which is a long hike, about a month long, that there's very little cell service in there, I decided that I wanted not just the lowest tier plan, which is only $11.95, I wanted one bump up, which is the $24.95 per month plan. So I picked that plan for that month, knowing that when I get done with the trail, I can then drop my service to the safety plan. So that's the other cool thing about it, is that you can up and down your plan as much as you want, and you just pay the difference in plan prices. Now that I'm all set up with the Garmin device, I feel so much better about going on those long backcountry hikes and also going on those long deserted roads that I often find myself on. It just gives me that peace of mind. It's almost like I've taken an insurance policy out on my safety and well-being. Definitely worth it. Again, just for that peace of mind, it makes me feel safer, and that if I do get in trouble, it's just a button push away that I can get help back in the backcountry or off on those deserted roads. So again, it was very, very important to me. So what do you guys think? Have you ever considered carrying one of these devices? Or if you do have one of these devices, have you ever used it? What was that experience like? Because I haven't used it yet, so I'm very curious what that experience is like, and if you've ever actually needed to use that SOS button. So please let us know in the comments below. Well, I hope that you guys got something out of this video today and you found it a little bit helpful. Above all else, all I want is for you guys to be safe out there, and I hope that this contributes to it and it gives you another option for staying safe out on the road. If you got something out of this video today, please go ahead and give us that big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Be well and safe out there, guys, and I'll see you all down the road. So long.